During a total restoration, there are a couple of really exciting stages. One of those is stripping the car apart and having a bare shell for the first time. One of those is the first road test after thousands of hours have been spent on the car and we get to go up the road for the first time. But probably for me, the highlight is a day like today. On this 250 GT Lusso, which is one of just 22 cars delivered new to the UK in right-hand drive, we're at the stage where today we're going into colour. It's been a great restoration so far, and actually slightly different to the normal. This car we're doing something quite special with, and we're going for a fast road specification. As part of its fast road spec, there are a number of things that we're doing as part of the restoration that will set it aside from a standard Lusso. So here it is, standing in the oven today, ready to receive its colour. It's had hundreds of hours of preparation put into the restored body shell to get the shape right, to get the primary layers ready to accept the colour. And surprisingly, actually going into colour and doing the lacquer process is a relatively short period of time in comparison to the, as mentioned, hundreds of hours that go into the preparation of the shell. But we're just going to quickly talk through this car because we've unfortunately not been able to document this with a video so far during the restoration, but we just thought a little bit now is better late than never. So starting at the front, the car's not going to have any bumpers. It's going to have that real raw racy look without bumpers, like all the competition cars of the 60s. The front spotlights are being replaced for brake cooling ducts, which will look very period with a mesh finish, just as you would expect if a 250 GT Lusso had gone fully racing in period. And in fairness, a few Lussos did compete in period and they had a number of small modifications, but this car, in our mind, is how a full race spec car would have been, but as a true GT car, ready for the road as well. So that's why we're calling this a fast road spec. Engine-wise, we've increased the capacity to 3.3 litre. The engine's running on 6 carburetors. Of course, that's fully reversible because we can always fit new liners and pistons if we rebuilt the engine and put it back to 250 spec and onto 3 carburetors. It'll have open air trumpets, just like a competition 250 short wheelbase. Moving back in the chassis, gearbox. The gearbox is a full 250 GTO 5-speed gearbox with that glorious open gate showing all 5 speeds. It's going to be a great feature of this car. The wheels have been rebuilt to optimum specifications so they can have the widest tyre within the standard wheel arch. We did not want to flare the rear arches. We didn't want to modify the inner arches. And the width will actually be the same as a 62 250 GTO. Moving to the rear, we've fitted a bag tank fuel cell and we're going to have an exposed outside fuel filler, very reminiscent of the 250 short wheelbase 1960 variant competition cars. Now all of these modifications and items that we fitted to the car will be fully reversible so that in the future, should someone want to Class K certify the car, it can be reverted to complete standard factory specification, all matching numbers, the original gearbox is being retained and certified. But it's really, for us, very, very refreshing and reminiscent of the days in the early 90s where we did a lot of similar projects for a very significant and big client of ours who has a huge collection of great cars and was never shy of having some specials and one-offs. And being able to build this car for him that will look like a race car for the road, almost harking back to the looks of a 330 LMB with a 5-speed gearbox, more torque, more power, debumpered, big wheels, painted like a competition car. I can't wait, and really hats off to the guy that's done this in this day and age and asked us to do this project. It's going to be so, so cool, and I hope it opens the gates to more people doing some more interesting restorations and just doing some tweaks to personalise these more standard Ferraris of the 60s. Although they're already great cars, I just love being able to do something different. So, cannot wait for that first road test.
It's killing me 'cause I just can't say what I mean.